All right, everybody. So today I thought I would do something a little different for Professor's Corner and bring you another breakdown, a Professor's breakdown. This one's going to be a match of mine. It's going to be me versus a person I've known for a long time. I'll describe that all as we go. But his name is Sean Munn, newer black belt, good guy out of Cleveland, Ohio. So I'm going to get right into it. We're going to break this video down. So tell me if you like it in the comments. I definitely want to know. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Bill Jones. I'm the head instructor of top level martial arts in beautiful downtown Cuyahoga Falls. I'm a black belt under Master Pedro Sauer. You're watching Professor's Corner. All right, so the beginning of this video gets a little cut off, so I actually have a second video as to give you a little context as what's going on. There's a setup that I have that I always do. I'm going to switch this to, I think I can switch it right here. I am wrong. There we go, playback speed. I'm going to play this speed back a little bit slower than normal so that I can explain what's going on. So this is a video of me versus Michael Rooney, which I'm going to get to the Sean Munn video in a second, but this is going to give you a little context as to where the Sean Munn video starts off, because I typically will start this way and set this kind of thing up with everybody. So what you're going to see me do here is I'm going to bring my left hand up and check the shoulder of Michael. He reaches over, which is pretty typical, and this is going to give me an overhook. Boom, right there. So you can see right here, I've got an overhook. My next thing, notice his head is low. When someone brings their head low and I have the overhook, my next automatic action is to attack the neck for an arm-in guillotine. Now, Michael is going to do a really good job of this. By the way, I do win this match against Michael, but he goes on to beat me in a no-gi match. So I got first place in gi. He got first place in no-gi. I don't have video of that. I would rather break that down, if I'm being honest. But anyway, you're going to see me attack the head. Boom. And he won't let me get it. See, he's got this sleeve grip, so he won't let me get his head. And that's key. Now, my next sequence here, notice that he's put himself kind of in a bad alignment by checking this arm. So I'm going to re-grip him here on the sleeve. And in no-gi, I would grab the wrist. And I'm going to step into Uchimata. Boom, right there. And then I do like a can-can Uchimata, so it could be prettier, but that's the way I like to do Uchimata. So anyway, that's what I'm going for. But what I usually do when someone isn't, when I don't feel I can enter here, or they're going for the underhook on me. So he let me keep his sleeve. I went Uchimata. A lot of times they'll release and try to get this underhook on me to get double unders, or they'll try to go to an overhook on me to even up the grip set. When they do that, then I shift off to this side and knee pick this far leg. And that's where we're going to start with Sean Munn. So all of this stuff was already going on when the person started the video. So again, I'm going to see if this is already on kind of a slow motion playback. Let's put it on 0.5 so that we can kind of watch what's going on. So you can see we're already into this, right? There's me checking. I happen to be getting a collar tie. He's trying to reach over for that. And you're going to see how his arm is coming in here. Boom, as he tries to go in, I realize, see, he's keeping it in, so I'm not going to get that Uchimata. He's already recognized that that's going to be a challenge. He actually creates a frame here on my neck. Boom. So now I'm going to go to the underhook. And once I get it, boom, I'm going to shift off to the side right here, and there's the knee pick. And he actually tried to take me down at the same time, which was helpful. So that's what was going on there. That's what we're looking at. That's how we ended up on the bottom. And that's a sequence I teach my team regularly. So now I'm just maintaining side control, or maintaining half guard rather, just kind of biding my time. This, by the way, right here, this is my good friend Rob Heilman. He's out of Leverage Jiu-Jitsu. I've known him for 12 years. He's a Tom DeBlas black belt. Started under Pedro Sauer, then moved to Tom DeBlas. These are my moccasins, which my friend David Porter managed to make fun of me for. He said that you can tell it's an old man's division when they're wearing moccasins on the podium. And then over here we have Mr. Ed Powers. Ed Powers is a second-degree black belt and the primary instructor of Sean. And as I said, I've known Sean for a long time. I actually put his first stripe on him ever when he was a white belt. So, on paper, this wasn't the fairest match for Sean, but he actually does a great job. Here he's going to be trying to lock me down. You can see that I'm, just staying base, staying calm right here, walking his arm up, trying to open space on the far side, to do two things. One, it's going to stretch him out, it's going to minimize his movement. And here he wants to go to lockdown. This is something I see a lot of people do, and a lot of people just overlook it. Watch how my foot tracks his to avoid the lockdown. So he's trying to clear me for the lockdown. Boom. See how I use the bottom of my foot to keep him in there? Let me make sure. I hope my cursor is showing up. I don't have a way to make sure right now, I don't think. But if it's not, that's what I'm doing. I'm tracking his foot. Now I move up. I made sure not to get locked down because that's annoying. Come down. I don't like what I'm feeling here. And so I give him room to move. And right there, I try to get greedy and maybe slice through and hit a darce. He does turn over for it. And this is a big guy division, so I'm not going to shoot in for it. We're going to work on taking the back. He does a good job of turning. I was real sloppy with my back take. I was actually playing this match very loose, trying to get some submissions. And again, I don't do a lot of tournaments, so I don't get a lot of submissions in them. Mainly just because I don't feel like I do them enough. I've got to get more comfortable with movement under pressure like that. So it's something that just takes time. Plus, everybody's a black belt. They're not going to make the dumb mistake. So he ends up in my guard here. He's going to make good posture. And you can see, like, I go to a scissor sweep situation. He does a good job of trying to attack the ankle. Now, a lot of people wonder why I'm not too uncomfortable with the ankle. Now, I made a mistake right here. He should have won this match. Let me be real clear. If he knows what he's, and I actually went and taught a seminar on it later. But if you know what you're doing with leg locks and the person sits up like I did to defend, you should win this fight right here. This was a huge mental error on my part, and it's because I was a little too mentally relaxed. I should have just pummeled immediately and gotten out, which you'll see me do later. But he should actually finish with a straight ankle lock, or specifically an Achilles lock right there. But he didn't know that yet. We're going to move on. He's going to attempt the folding foot lock, or your typical straight ankle lock, the way it's typically done. He could arch a little more by looking up and backwards, but that's not really going to save him. You're going to see me come underneath and hold his foot here and pummel through. I didn't hold the foot on this one. I like to do that and come up to the top, but he beat me to the top. But anyway, that pummel is a decent escape to it. He might re-pummel and try again. And here we go. I'm going to sweep him from the half guard. Let's look at that and see what happened there. So I come up to clear. I'm trying to set up. I always come up slow to try to set him up for an armbar. So right here, let me find it. It's hard to see what's going on, but pause right here. So I have control of his. I have an overhook on his far arm, and then I grab I gable grip my own hand, and I place my forearm underneath the neck. And this essentially allows me a pendulum sweep. He got a little too high in his base, and I'm able to pendulum sweep using my forearm to drive his face away and create the rotation, which will sweep him to the bottom position. You can see me just put a little extra in by basing. The forearm is what allows me to base, though. So let me show you that again. So because this forearm's in his neck, even though I base, when I drive with this leg, it's going to put all the pressure here into him, driving him over. It's a little bit into his armpit at this point, but I've got his far arm, in this case his right arm, tucked underneath me enough that it's not going to make a difference. So that's why he can't just rotate out of it. And you can see out here, I've got his leg contained. So if he tried to backstep, that wouldn't end up the way you would want it to. And we're going to get centered up. Move it a little quicker. Good job to whoever was on the camera. Thank you. So right here, we're just still in the middle of the match. Sean's going to last the whole 5 minutes. Again, just working on passing the guard. And he tries a head and arm choke here from the bottom. It's a good try. I can basically just wait it out. He doesn't have the hip angle to get it, so I basically just waited out. I let him burn his arm out here. Move forward here a little bit quicker. So here I am. I'm trying to set up this Darce again. I'm being a little too obvious about it, you know? And that's why it's not happening. I sped up the video so that we're not sitting there watching anything. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to get two grips on the back. I'm going to miss the crucifix, but I want to show you how these grips can save you um, if you're rolling. So I'm thinking about taking the back, and he's not letting my foot come in. Oh, there it goes. Now it goes in. But I get two grips on his far arm. So rather than a traditional seatbelt grip, I get two grips on the far arm. So I believe that this is the part where I'm going to opt to try to crucifix him instead. Let's see what happens. Actually, I can show you this particular back take in the other match if you want to see it. It's toward the end of this match. So you can see I cover up the back foot, knee in the butt, so my outside leg comes over top. I can do this at speed. I'm a real fan of doing this. Oh yeah, he moves. There we go. I'll get it here at some point. Yeah, and then we take the back. So that it's basically all it is. A lot of times I'll do it from that grip though. But anyway, back to this. So that's kind of what I'm setting up here. It's just a way to take his back. But I feel like I can see, you see the arm come out. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to go for the crucifix. He does a good job of not allowing it. But right here, you can see this grip I have. This makes it nigh on impossible for him to rotate forward. So even though he's doing a good job of freeing up his arm, I don't have the best crucifix in the world. I'm actually working with one of my students to get better at it. His name's Kendall. He's one of the instructors at the school. He's got a phenomenal crucifix. But right here, I already know I don't have it. But you can see because I have this grip the way I do, as opposed to a traditional seatbelt grip, he's unable to rotate. So I've just got to keep this down, and you'll see I come up back out of it pretty easily. So instead of him ending up on top, like he would want to, it gives me all kinds of freedom of movement. So again, right here, just maintaining, and you can see I'm staying very loose. It's because I'm trying to, you have to give people room to move at some point in order to submit them, especially no-gi. And so here, let me turn this back up to a normal speed for you. Just kind of controlling a little bit. Trying now, when you see me go to this position, you know that I'm trying to gas them out. Let's talk about this position. I'm a little lazy on it. This heel should kind of be up off the ground because my toes should be planted. But you'll notice that these toes are engaged and pretty close to my butt. What that does is if he tries to shrimp and come underneath me, his knee will run into my foot, which makes it really hard for him to just shrimp underneath and then roll me over. Because he would love to do like a reverse shrimp to bring his hips underneath mine a little bit, and then he can just roll this way, and I'll just tip over like someone in a canoe that's being swamped. So I'm trying to set up the arm bar or the Americana here. He's not going to go for either. So that's fine. So now I'm start setting up the arm bar again. He frees his arm. Just for focusing on base, making sure I maintain him. So there's a lot of cleaning up I need to do, very clearly, as far as submitting other black belts and stuff in a tournament. Again, Sean and I have known each other a long time. We've rolled a lot. He knows my game and I know his. We actually have similar games. For big guys, we tend to move around a lot. But, and you can see, again, this is a big guy division, so I'm not going to just step over him and hope to take the back. That's just real hard to do. And you can see I was trying to pull him back a little bit, but he wasn't going to do it. Once again, he's going to try to, or this time he does. Oops. Let's see if they let him start again. He started to lace up the lockdown here. Yeah, there he goes. So he's going to start to lace that up. I don't know if he's going to apply it or not. Yeah, so he does do a good job of whipping me there, but I just break it off, and he gets back to his guard, so he did real good there. and then I just kind of hip switch to the other side. If you guys want to see what happened there, let's take a look at that. Switch this. So as he comes up, you can see I go to long step, and then he blocks it, so I shoot my knee through. It's basically what happened, and then I can flail my foot. So I end up in half guard. I would love to have just hopped over all that, but he did a good job with his far leg to prevent it. So if you watch, he's kind of starting for the Kimura. I drop the arm under. I go to long step. He uses his foot here to block the long step. There. And he uses his bottom foot. But you see, I brought my knee in as well. So my knee came with me. And this is what gave him problems that he didn't expect. And then I brought my arm through to avoid the Kimura. This is a common defense. Not only against the Kimura, you can shoot the arm through, but also if they arm drag you, you can start stepping to the opposite side. And again, so this isn't the most exciting match. You know, this is typical big guy jiu-jitsu, right? Like you don't see as many submissions with guys like us. Good amount there. Let's go to that. Oh, and then I'll talk about my. So anyway, I'm in his half guard. This is a real basic way to mount. Good. Bring my knee to his hip, and then you'll see me walk his hand up out of here. I push his knee, and then I'll walk his hand up out with an underhook. Boom. He get there. I walked it up earlier. Started to try to set up an Ezekiel. He did a good job checking my balance. So again, I'm letting him move, trying to get different positions, take the back, very typical back position. And right here, I think I knew we were close on time. And you see that I started to. So I was doing a seminar not too long ago, and Cole Miller, who is a UFC veteran, was talking about taking the back and finishing from the back, and people having problems with it. And he was talking about like people aren't mean enough on the head. And I decided I didn't want to rake his head. So you see I'm being like super technical here. And I just did another video talking about that same thing. But I didn't get the choke here because I decided not to be mean to him. I didn't want to rip his face up. I think against someone I don't know, that probably wouldn't have been an issue. But I know Sean, he's a good kid. He's about 20 years younger than me. And I didn't feel like ripping his face up. So it just wasn't going to happen. There was no point. I was already winning. You know, why do that to him? So I'm trying to set up the low 90-degree angle here, but I'm not in a good position to do it, and I'm on the wrong side. So I realized that, and I'm like, oh, let's just keep training. So I come up, stay on top, he rolls. Basically, this is all just basic mount or maintenance, right? Just let him roll, take the mount. And there's the time. All right, guys, so I hope you got something out of that. You know, if you did, let me know. If you didn't, or if you have questions about something you saw, I'll do the Mike Rooney match breakdown maybe next time when I get a chance. If you want me to break down one of your matches, do me a favor, send me the link. I do have a Patreon account, although there's nothing set up. There's no tiers set up in it yet. I'll start linking that soon as well. It's called Professor's Breakdowns, where I can break down videos for you. You know, there's different tiers to it, of course, but you know, basically, you know, you'll be able to, you know how Patreon works. There's different tiers. So we'll do that and see if you guys like it. I'll start getting that stuff linked for you soon. But until then, you can either look up Professor's Breakdown on Patreon. I should just link the page, huh? Maybe I'll put it in the description below. But anyway, guys, thanks a lot. If you enjoyed the video, let me know. Talk to you later.